Hello everybody, this is Teegee. I'm the Vice Travel Chief of Carrier-Secani Travel Council, and welcome to first of a series of webinars in regards to the carbon markets and information we have gathered. First of all, just a little bit of information about who we are. We are the First Nations Carbon Collaborative, which involves the International Institute for Sustainable Development, as well as the Center of Indigenous Environmental Resources, as well as the First Nations group, including ourselves, the Carrier-Secani Travel Council, as well as Poplar River First Nation and the Chilko government from the Northwest Territories. This series is really about learning and sharing information in regards to carbon and emissions trading and how it impacts Aboriginal communities. Basically, the impetus of this study began approximately 3 years ago, where a lot of information was out there, but we didn't really understand about carbon markets and carbon trading and what that involved. So really, we wanted to get an informed decision for our Aboriginal communities, and I just want to recognize that this began with my own community of Tackle Lake First Nations, Nakasley First Nation, and Tlazden First Nation of Carrier-Secani Travel Council, and evolved from there to what is now where we have completed a literature review and some case studies from around the world. You can visit our website at www.cstc.bc.ca or the International Institute for Sustainable Development's website for more information. I also want to acknowledge all our funders and supporters, including Indian and Northern Affairs Canada, in particular the BC Capacity Initiative Program, the New Relationship Trust, which was a huge funder to this project, as well as BC First Nations Energy and Mining Council, who have supported us since the beginning, and also University of Toronto and the Center of Environment, as well as our partners ISD, SEER, and all those other communities that provided information for our reports. The agenda for the webinars is on our website at www.cstc.bc.ca. And today's webinar is basically an overview. It's Carbon 101, what is carbon and emissions trading and how does it work. And today we have guest speakers, our National Chief, Shawn Atleo A-in-chut from the Ahusip First Nations community, as well as Gary Bull from the University of British Columbia, as well as Shawn Burns, who owns his own company called Carbon Credit Corp and does a lot of work in the carbon markets and carbon trading. As our first speaker, I'm extremely honored to introduce our National Chief, Shawn A-in-chut. Shawn Atleo has been our National Chief for the past couple of years and is a big part to a lot of these discussions in regards to title rights and how our Aboriginal communities are involved with resources and the sale of resources. I was honored to accompany Shawn to the Conference of the Parties in Copenhagen, and there was a lot of discussions there in regards to carbon credits, and I just want to acknowledge Shawn for all of his good work, not only as a National Chief, but as a Regional Chief for British Columbia. Shawn Atleo is a hereditary chief from his community, and just like to, he doesn't have slides for this particular webinar, but he'll be online right now. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy and learn from our carbon webinar series. What's that, Joe?
Hello, it's A-in-chut here, and that was Gary, right? Gary Bull, thank you very much.
Gary Bull, actually. I would like to have said all those words, but...
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm in Alderville First Nation here, and they've graciously offered up an opportunity for me to use their space. And joining you on a landline, we were unable to connect otherwise, but here at an event where a local private school is meeting with the kids here in the Alderville First Nation, and it's quite a wonderful event, and so I'm very thankful to Alderville for allowing me to use their facilities, and I'm really glad to be part of this this webinar. This is so important. It reminds me, in fact, of the moment probably about 15 years ago or so, when a major energy, international energy company visited me in my village of Ahousaht, which is on the west coast of Vancouver Island, and suggested, and I heard the concept for really the first time, the idea of our territories, in our language we say hahotli, being used as a carbon sink. And I have to admit that the idea didn't sink in very well at the time about what was being talked about, the idea of leaving the stands of forest in my territory up in order to address carbon offsets. And I know that there has been lots of developments that have occurred over the last 15 or so years, and I really thank the organizers and the project funders and all of the supporters and, of course, the participants for coming together for this event. I think it's an important part of our overall effort to raise awareness about this issue, as well as, I think, more broadly, picking up on the comments about the last conversation that I was involved in over in Copenhagen, the issues of climate change and the ways that First Nations are responding to climate change. I'm really appreciating the innovation of the use of this forum as well, as a way to share information, to talk about green energy, to talk about carbon finance, and really to engage with one another. The idea of using the webinar technology is something that we at the Assembly of First Nations have been doing a lot more of in the last while, using new media, using cleaner, greener technologies, reducing our overall footprint. And we've been doing that even right now in the midst of the federal election. We've been having the virtual summits. The most recent was on the election on April 14th. Previous to that, we've done this for having online summits on post-secondary education. So I think in terms of the issue before us today, I feel strongly, as I do in so many other aspects of our efforts as First Nations together, that there is strength in numbers that can lead to a better positioning of all of our communities in the overall carbon finance schemes that are being developed in Canada. And we know that these finance schemes are a result of efforts happening around the globe, and that we do have First Nations communities now, as I was alluding to. They're undertaking clean energy initiatives, and we see examples of the need to reduce communities' reliance on diesel and coal and other sources of dirty energy. And many examples in the West, I think of the Souk Nation down on the southwest part of Vancouver Island. I recall Souk First Nations being touted as the top per capita user of solar energy of any nation around the world, and it was a lot of fun to reflect on that with Chief Planners there. They've got a 75 kilowatt installation, and they're able to power their households with solar, reducing the reliance on diesel generators. I myself have a small solar system that powers my home in a house. We're in the middle of a rainforest, and so people can't tell me that it's not possible. It is absolutely possible, and what we find is, whether it's Souk or microhydro developments, I know the Hopichesset near my territory are involved in that effort. Fort Williams First Nations, elsewhere we can find all kinds of examples of First Nations taking